I'm gonna give you the cold and hard truth, and that is that the stock market is rigged. The government will never give you and I the billions of dollars that it gives institutional investors. These lessons are learned time and time again from financial crises like what happened with GameStop and Robinhood. Now it's time to use these lessons in order to beat Wall Street at its own game. How? I'm Corzine, your social media lawyer, and I'm gonna show you how. Lesson number 1, the stock market is rigged and institutional investors will always control your ability to make money in the stock market. Institutional investors often do risky and sometimes really dangerous trades, but no one ever stops them. I'm thinking about in 2001 or so when the stock market plummeted, and that was because the tech stocks that everybody was investing in didn't have the value that they thought they would. In 2007 and 2008, the subprime mortgage crisis occurred because lenders who were really hungry for commissions basically were giving loans to anybody who wanted to buy a house. Institutional investors bought up millions of mortgage-backed securities. When the borrowers couldn't pay back the loans, the securities failed, Wall Street noticed, and then the stock market went downhill. The government repeatedly rescues institutional investors but does nothing for us. A good example of this was in the subprime mortgage crisis when Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley got bailouts to the tune of billions of dollars from the US government. During 2020's pandemic, the government pumped in 10 times more money into Wall Street as opposed to your street in the form of PPP loans. What's galling is that the government is supposed to be looking out for our interests or the interests of everybody, but it repeatedly gives your tax dollars to the institutional investors. Under our current financial system, institutional investors can quickly correct any mistake that they make and keep the money flowing to them. A good example of this is what happened with GameStop, Robinhood, and Wall Street Bets in 2021. Reddit users banded together to explode the price of GameStop stock, thereby sticking it to Melvin Capital and other institutional investors. Well, what did institutional investors do? They quickly responded by preventing these retail investors from having the upper hand. Through the DTCC, which is a company owned by the institutional investors, they put the brakes on the GameStop buying spree by requiring Robinhood, and only Robinhood, to fork up billions in more collateral before it could clear GameStop and AMC and other short squeeze stock trades. My question to you is this: have you ever heard of this collateral requirement stopping dead in its tracks other mainstream stock brokerages? I think the answer is no. If our financial system was close to being fair, then the Federal Reserve would have been cooperating with Robinhood to make sure it had sufficient collateral to clear the GameStop and the AMC trades. Lesson number 2, you and I will never get the same measure of financial support from our government as the institutional investors. Investment guarantees go to investment banks. Trillions of dollars of loans go to hedge funds. Bailouts go to large corporations and institutional investors. This has been demonstrated time and time again. 2002, 2008, 2020. It's gonna keep going on. Lesson number 3 is that media and entertainment companies will continue to present you and I with the reality that's paid for by institutional investors. All right, do I have to go there? Yes, I do, because you deserve to know the truth. Do you know who owns 83% of Netflix? That is the institutional investors. Capital Research Group with $330 billion in assets, Vanguard with $6 trillion in assets, and BlackRock with $8 trillion in assets. Fox News is owned by the Murdoch family and they have $18 billion in assets. Disney owns ABC, ESPN, and 277 radio stations, as well as Miramax, Touchstone, and Walt Disney Pictures, for a combined asset total of $202 billion. Because institutional investors own all of our media and our entertainment, they will continue to present their own reality to a majority of the population. For example, on the weekend of the Robinhood GameStop fiasco, the media companies banded together and stopped all of us from streaming movies that might prevent us from further trading in the market the next week. It was reported by The Verge that after the wild week of trading in GameStop, you can't stream the largest, most popular Wall Street movies. Those movies included Wall Street, The Big Short, The Wolf of Wall Street, and The Boiler Room. Why couldn't you stream these movies? Because the institutional investors want you to keep on trading. They want the dumb money still stuck in the market. For the most part, these movies show you that the excitement of Wall Street investing is short-lived and non-traditional investing often ends badly. But the institutional investors don't want this in your head. They want you to keep putting in your hard-earned money, maybe your stimulus money, into the market so that in the long haul, they will take it from you and get richer and richer. Okay, so I know these lessons are heavy, but you gotta take it in. Lesson number 1, the stock market is rigged. Lesson number 2, you and I will never get the same financial support as the institutional investors. And lesson number 3, because the institutional investors own the media and entertainment companies, they're always going to present to us the reality that they've paid for. So what can you and I do? How do we not get beat by Wall Street? 3 things. The first thing is to diversify your investments. Watch other people who are doing well in the financial markets. Are they crypto heavy? Are they real estate light? Emulate them to be able to maximize your financial future. If you do not have a hero in the financial markets, then at least diversify your assets. Make sure your investments are evenly distributed between crypto, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and real estate. And utilize corporate entities, maybe even foreign corporate entities in your financial plan. If you want to learn more about how you create a corporate entity, an LLC, watch my video right there. Number 2, take advantage of government plans. If you qualify for a stimulus payment, take it. If your small business can get a PPP loan, then take it. This is not free money. This is your money, and you need this money in order to make more money to support your financial future. And the third thing is get in and get out. Now, listen, I know this is easier said than done, and if you and I could perfect this, we would be billionaires just like the institutional investors. But the bottom line is focus on not being greedy. If you got into GameStop at $100 per share and then you rode the wave to $200 per share, get out. Take the money out. That's enough of a return on investment. If you got into Bitcoin at 5,000, now it's trading for 35,000, how much more money do you want? How much more ROA do you need? Institutional investors' sport is a marathon. They feel that they're gonna take our money eventually. Don't let them. Get in and get out. For more on my strategies for beating Wall Street at its own game, text LAW, that's LAW, to the number you see on this screen. I'd really like to hear about what you think about the current status of our financial system. Leave me a comment below. The best comment will get a shout out in my next post. Coming up next are my videos on how to make money legally online. As you watch, I'm going to be at iancorzine.com to answer any law questions you have.